I've been lecturing in community music in the Cork School of Music since our degree course there started back in 1995. So I think it was during 2001, music therapist Judith Brereton met me. I didn't know her before this. And we spoke about there being a need for doing something with people with intellectual disability outside of music education and outside of music therapy, something in between there. And we spoke about the fact that there was such a lack of performance opportunities for people with intellectual disability. And we decided to set up Cork Music Works as a pilot project, as a 3-year, very carefully planned pilot project. And one of the great sort of impetus for us was Cultural Capital 2005, Cork as European Cultural Capital. So that was what we worked towards, that was what we sort of designed Cork Music Works to be about, providing workshops and performance opportunities in public spaces so that people with intellectual disability would integrate with other non-disabled people. Cork Music Works, I think the biggest challenge is to keep it all going. Funding, the usual practicalities. It's trying to balance the practical aspect of it with the creativity. Obviously, it's the creativity is what we're about. That's what we love doing. Sitting around coming up with the ideas of what we'd love to do, what we'd love to perform. In a way, that's the easy bit, although of course it's the hard bit. But it's the fundamental slog of trying to find the funding, trying to keep the practical side of keeping the group gelling, of constantly reflecting back on why the workshop was good, why it failed, what was good about it, what can we bring forward, what's good in a performance, what we want to change about a performance. That really is the big challenge for us, to keep going. Incredibly lucky from the outset. People have loved the idea of Cork Music Works, so in fact we have been extremely lucky with support. The first to come up with something hugely important to us was Maura Nash, the CEO of Cope Foundation, because they gave us the use of the magnificent centre, the John Birmingham Centre, and that really, to me, that pinned it all down, because when you have a beautiful space to work in, people are glad to come to that space and people are happy working in it. From there, sources like the BEC, tremendous goodwill when we were in trouble in Cork 2005 for finance from the corporate sector, and Cork City Council, there's no doubt about it, they are very much in behind this kind of work. So it's a question though of making sure that you get into all those resources and that you manage to pull those out to keep the whole thing going. We've worked in a number of different ways. We set up to do music, which I suppose in the beginning was about singing songs, making music where possible, improvising, creating songs then. And then we got into the area of percussion, and having done several big performances in City Hall, including having a piece written for the Cork Pops Orchestra and Cork Music Works for Cork 2005. That was about the river. It was written by Johnny McCarthy and it became a multimedia piece. We had everything from film to dance and movement and that. Percussion then became very central to the work, and we ended up this year, 2006, walking in the St. Patrick's Day Parade, doing a kind of a samba piece that was devised by Rachel Healy, our percussion expert. So for this piece, we've moved from the percussion on to include our next area, which is working with lyres. So we wanted to completely contrast the percussion work with something completely different. So we've done a new piece, completely new for us, using percussion, using the lyres, and the great skill of our harp teacher, Orla Bustede, who has been working with one of our great success stories in Cork Music Works, Mary Murphy, who plays the Irish harp. In a way, I've always felt if Cork Music Works became redundant, that would be my measure of success. If there was so much of this activity happening that we were just able to melt into the background and do something completely different. The future for us, I think it's about providing opportunity for people who want to train to work in this area, and producing so many people that we increase the amount of activity that's going on all the time. Developing the music technology side of it and the multimedia side of it, I think, is the really important thing. And I see great scope for that where education is going, where CIT, for whom I work in the Cork School of Music, are going. This intersection between people who work in the arts and people who work in social care, that I see as the great opportunity for the future.